Today is the final push, one last harvest from the garden before the first big frost hits. Hi everybody, thanks so much for stopping by the homestead. My name is Sarah from Living Traditions Homestead, and today is a happy day. It's kind of a sad day. It's stressful yet exciting. Today is going to be our last harvest from our summer garden. The weatherman is forecasting several evenings of some pretty hard frost potentials, and there is really a lot still in the garden. We've been holding off on a lot of things just to get the last bit of color or the last bit of size and the last opportunity for maturity on a lot of things in the garden. So today we are going to bring you along so you can see everything that we get out of the garden. Now, we have had the most amazing year for tomatoes. It has been different for everybody around here. We've heard a lot of people say that this was one of the worst years for tomato harvests. On our homestead, we did not have a terrible year. We had a fantastic year. This spring, we planted 70 tomato plants. We may have not known what we were getting ourselves into. We had tomatoes coming out of our ears. So much so that at one point, about a month ago, I was so busy we did not have time to do anything with these tomatoes. So rather than just letting them go to waste, we put them in bags and we just threw them right into the freezer hole. We didn't do a single thing with them. And when my winter slows down a little bit, I will take those out of the freezer and I'll be able to can those. I've already canned probably close to 600 pounds of tomatoes. That's amazing. I'm so excited. So we're cleaning those up today. The peppers for us have been, a marginal success. Only about 50% of what I planted actually ended up producing anything. Most of that was my fault, and I will learn next year. But we've kept our peppers on the plants as long as possible so that they can get bigger. I love it when they turn red. They're sweeter, and I have some specific things that I'm going to be doing with peppers over the winter. But today is our last harvest. Whatever's on there is coming off regardless of size or color. We're thinking there might be a few of our dry beans still left on the vine, so we're going to do one last glean of those. We ended up having a surprise harvest of those. We thought they were actually going to do absolutely nothing, and I had vowed never to do dry beans again, but lo and behold, one day we went out there and there were hundreds and hundreds of bean pods. So we have harvested 4 quarts worth of dried pinto beans, and we're just going to go over those vines and see if there's anything else out there. Our birdhouse gourds, as you saw in one of our previous videos, we still have probably 60 to 75% of them still on the vines. So we're going to do a final harvest of them, whether or not they are ready, just to get them off the vines and hopefully still be able to salvage them when we let them cure in one of our enclosed barns. Our loofahs, we're going to do a harvest of our loofahs. We've never done those before, and so we're really excited about that. And then for sure I'm going to do a final big harvest of the herbs that we have. I do have some transplanting to do and bring some of those into the house, but today is not the day for that. We have way too many things to accomplish to be bringing the herbs into the house. So I'm sure there are things that I forgot that we will be harvesting today, but we have got to get started because we have a ton of work set out for us. So we're heading out to the garden, and today is all about salvaging as much of our summer crops and summer veggies as we can to feed our family over the next year. Well, change of venue, guys. It is super windy. I can't even be over by the picnic tables. It's just crazy. You'll never be able to hear me. So, well, what we ended up with today, and now the work is not done, but what we ended up with today was another amazing tomato harvest. This is the final harvest of the season. We brought in another almost 100 pounds of tomatoes. We ended up with 60 pounds of ripe tomatoes and 32 pounds of green tomatoes. Now, all of those are just going into the freezer whole for now, and I'm going to deal with them later. I'm going to can them and do different kinds of recipes and things with them. So I'm sure you'll see more about that in the near future. As far as peppers go, the biggest haul was our jalapeno peppers. We got 5.5 pounds of jalapeno peppers. Now, it was intentional on my part to leave them on the plants as much as possible. I really hoped to get all of them to turn red. My intention is to dry them and then smoke them. And at that point, they'll be called chipotle peppers. And then we can use them in various ways around the homestead in our cooking and those kinds of things. I will use the green jalapenos as well in salsas and salsa verde and those kinds of things. So I'm not too upset that they didn't all have a chance to turn red. We also were able to get some more cayenne peppers, a few more poblano peppers, spicy paprika peppers, and the sheep nose pimento peppers. Am I missing anything? I'm not sure. Anyway, I was pleased with all of those for this year, and even though those harvests weren't very big, this go-round I have been harvesting a ton of those all summer long. Now, the birdhouse gourds were amazing. We ended up getting another 25 birdhouse gourds. We have decided to wait until the end of the week to harvest all of them. We harvested the 25 that were ready to go, that had brown stems that were dry. There's quite a few left on there. We're just kind of wanting to wait to the very last minute to make sure that they can mature before, maybe in a few days before we take them all off the vines. We were able to get several loofahs, and we're really happy about that. There are also loofahs still on the vines. We're going to wait until the end of the week to see if we can just push them to mature a little bit more before the end of the year. And we went through the pinto beans again, and there was really only a handful of them left. So we had done a pretty good job the first couple times that we had harvested. On the herbs, I have done at least 2 harvests on all of the herbs. I did another harvest on many things. I ended up harvesting thyme, oregano, marjoram, a little bit of rosemary, and I think that's it. There's one big harvest left on the lemon balm, which I'm going to wait a couple more days on. I use that to create a tincture that helps me suppress my cold sores that I get in my eye. There's a video on that, and that I get in my nose and on my face and things. So I need to make another batch of that medicine, and so I'll be doing that this week as well. So as much as I would like to say the work on the garden is done for the year, I actually have a ton of things that I need to dig up and put in pots and either bring in the house or into just a better location so that those plants won't freeze. I hope to have a lot of my herbs dug up, and we've got turmeric that needs to be dug up and brought in the house, and just a few things that I'd like to not have to start by seed next year that I can put back in the ground. I've got some bunching onions that need to come out yet, some walking onions, I think that's what those are called, behind me, and the gardens are nowhere near ready for winter. We have to rip out all the plants. We need to put down rabbit manure and more mulch. So we still have a lot of work ahead of us, but what we've done today is the #1 most time sensitive and weather sensitive tasks. The food is, for the most part, 95% out of the gardens, so anything else, if it ends up getting ruined, I'll be sad, but I won't be devastated. But that is just kind of what we're running into. We've had a fantastic summer. Our gardens were so productive. We're so happy on how everything ended up turning out during our first full year of gardening on our homestead here in Missouri. It's been a blast. It's been a ton of work. It's been exhausting. But I know that come December, oh my gosh, was only like a month and a half away, I will be looking at seeds and planning out my planting schedule. And that is a whole different kind of excitement. Oh, I just wanted to share with you our very last harvest of the summer. Now it's fall, and I look forward to sharing all of this with you again next year. So before you guys go, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you are not a subscriber to our channel yet. We do all kinds of awesome things and plan to continue. If you have questions about what we did today or what we're doing here, go ahead and ask those in the comment section below. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you like this video. Until next time, you guys, take care and God bless.